I have no fear that the result of our experiment will be that men may be trusted to govern themselves without a master. Was the government to prescribe to us our medicine and diet, our bodies would be in such keeping as our souls are now. To preserve the freedom of the human mind then and freedom of the press, every spirit should be ready to devote itself to martyrdom, for as long as we may think as we will, and speak as we think, the condition of man will proceed in improvement. A society that will trade a little liberty for a little order will lose both, and deserve neither. You say you are a Calvinist. I am not. I am of a sect by myself, as far as I know. Ridicule is the only weapon which can be used against unintelligible propositions. I ask your indulgence for my own errors, which will never be intentional, and your support against the errors of others, who may condemn what they would not have seen in all its parts. His parentage was obscure, his condition poor, his education null, his natural endowments great, his life correct and innocent. He was meek, benevolent, patient, firm, disinterested, and of the sublimest eloquence. The issue today is the same as it has been throughout all history, whether man shall be allowed to govern himself or be ruled by a small elite. I agree with you that there is a natural aristocracy among men. The grounds of this are virtue and talents. I sincerely believe, with you, that banking establishments are more dangerous than standing armies, and that the principle of spending money to be paid by posterity, under the name of funding, is but swindling futurity on a large scale. Truth is the proper and sufficient antagonist to error. The first remedy is the best, that of appointing for a term of years only, with a capacity of reappointment if their conduct has been approved. Every line of it is replete with wisdom. I agree that a professorship of theology should have no place in our institution. But we cannot always do what is absolutely best. Question with boldness even the existence of a God, because, if there be one, he must more approve the homage of reason than that of blindfolded fear. I am certainly not an advocate for frequent and untried changes in laws and constitutions. I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. Truth advances, and error recedes step by step only, and to do to our fellow men the most good in our power, we must lead where we can, follow where we cannot, and still go with them, watching always the favorable moment for helping them to another step. To ourselves, in strict language, we can owe no duties, obligation requiring also two parties. Self-love, therefore, is no part of morality. Indeed, it is exactly its counterpart. I predict future happiness for Americans if they can prevent the government from wasting the labors of the people under the pretense of taking care of them. Stable ownership is the gift of social law, and is given late in the progress of society. It would be curious then if an idea, the fugitive fermentation of an individual brain, could, of natural right, be claimed an exclusive and stable property. I scarcely know myself which is most to be deprecated, a consolidation or dissolution of the states. The horrors of both are beyond the reach of human foresight. The most valuable of all talents is that of never using two words when one will do. The legitimate powers of government extend to such acts only as are injurious to others. But it does me no injury for my neighbor to say there are 20 gods, or no God. It neither picks my pocket nor breaks my leg. Who dread the advance of science as witches at the fatal harbinger announcing the subversion. We are now taught to believe that legerdemain tricks upon paper can produce as solid wealth as hard labor in the earth. It is vain for common sense to urge that nothing can produce nothing. For improvement. This was not in our day, but at no distant one, we may shake a rod over the heads of all, which may make the stoutest of them tremble. But I hope our wisdom will grow with our power, and teach us that the less we use our power, the greater it will be. Majority. We have government. In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. Large cities, as in Europe, we shall become like a dropsical man calling out for water, water. Our deluded citizens are clamoring for more banks. Our legislators are not sufficiently apprised of the rightful limits of their power, that their true office is to declare and enforce only our natural rights and duties, and to take none of them from us. Truth will do well enough if left to shift for herself. Bank paper must be suppressed, and the circulating medium must be restored to the nation to whom it belongs. The true foundation of Republican government is the equal right of every citizen in his person and property, and in their management. We may say with truth and meaning that governments are more or less Republican, as they have more or less of the element of popular election and control in their composition. Can he, then, be trusted with the government of others? Or have we found angels in the forms of kings to govern him? Let history answer this question. The man who reads nothing at all is better educated than the man who reads nothing but newspapers. Honesty is the first chapter of the book Wisdom. Funding I consider as limited, rightfully, to a redemption of the debt within the lives of a majority of the generation contracting it. Yours is one of the few lives precious to mankind, and for the continuance of which every thinking man is solicitous. Bigots may be an exception. I cannot live without books. Nothing, I think, would be so likely to affect this. Some men look at constitutions with sanctimonious reverence and deem them like the Ark of the Covenant, too sacred to be touched. The God who gave us life gave us liberty at the same time. The hand of force may destroy, but cannot disjoin them. But of all things, they least think of subjecting themselves to the will of one man. Do you want to know who you are? Don't ask. Act. Action will delineate and define you. The mother principle is that governments are republican only in proportion as they embody the will of their people and execute it. Our particular principles of religion are subject of accountability to our God alone. No freeman shall be debarred the use of arms within his own lands. To the corruptions of Christianity I am indeed opposed, but not to the genuine precepts of Jesus himself. I would rather be exposed to the inconveniences attending too much liberty than those attending too small a degree of it. Every difference of opinion is not a difference of principle. My aim in that was to justify the character of Jesus against the fictions of his pseudo-followers, which have exposed him to the inference of being an impostor. A free people claim their rights as derived from the laws of nature, and not as the gift of their chief magistrate. The last appellation of aristocrats and democrats is the true one expressing the essence of all.